feel embarrassed now. I feel like you should do this.
Remember, I am man.
It is true. It is true. I was after his friend. I admit. His friend had this wild child, outgoing personality. And the funny thing is, they both looked alike. They looked quite a bit alike. But the funny thing was, they were good friends. And anyway, he wouldn't leave me alone. I'm talking about Billy. And so I didn't want a boyfriend. I was that girl that I kind of pushed guys away. I didn't want to marry anybody from my school. You know, you go to school with those boys, and I'm just going to be honest with you, you watch everything they do in class, pick their nose and pass gas, and you know, you've watched it since kindergarten, you know, so you're just like, I'm not marrying nobody in my class. You know how that all goes, you know. But anyway, he wouldn't leave me alone and all this, you know, long story short stuff. And the more I hung out with him, the more I began to realize that he was so opposite of me. So opposite of me, but in such a good way. Such a good way. And the more I got to know his friend, because they hung out all the time, I was like, this guy's never going to settle down. He is not marriage material. I just began to watch that. And so I let go of the friend thing, and I still wasn't sure about Billy, but what was so funny is, you know, he wanted me to commit to him immediately. Like 2 weeks, I want you to be my girlfriend. Be my girlfriend, be my girlfriend. And I was like, no, I don't want a boyfriend. We can hang out, but I don't want a boyfriend. So this went on for a little while. But anyway, long story short, I remember just being really stressed out about something with my own family and whatever. And I remember we were sitting in my car, and I remember this conversation, and I remember like talking about my mom or something, and something she was making me worry about, and I was stressing, and I remember him saying, just don't worry about it. He's like, what is it going to matter in 2 years? What is that going to matter in this such and such time? And I had never, ever had anybody say that to me. My mom was very quiet. My mom did not talk. My dad was a talker, but he didn't talk that way, you know. And hearing him say that, it just melted my heart. I was just like, he don't want me to worry. And I was a worry wart, y'all. I still have issues with that. But anyway, like I said, we're so opposite. You know, I'm high-strung, type A personality. Everything's got to be straight line, OCD, you know, this, and he is fly by the seat of his pants. My grandbaby's done what I was talking about, passing gas over there. Everybody's over there coughing. I tell you, he can do it now. I'm just saying, he can clear a room out. But anyway, so you know, it's just so awesome how beautifully opposite God puts people together. Billy's just that laid back, easygoing, you know, type personality, and I needed that in my life. He's also the adventurous one. You know, he's the adventurous one, and I'm not going to plan everything out and dot every I and cross every T, and you know, and he's just that way. And I needed that in my life, and I didn't know for a long time that I needed that. And I criticized the giftings that God gave him when we first got married, because I was like, why are you more like me? Why are you not more like me? And then, you know, and he's like, well, why are you not more like me? Well, I remember going to a marriage conference many years after that. We'd been married, lots of fighting. I think we'd been married about 8 to 10 years. We were doing some ministry stuff. And I remember going to this retreat, and I remember at this retreat, and I remember this lady saying this, and they were talking about saying, you know, if your spouse is beautifully and perfectly opposite of you, it's God, and you need to learn to appreciate the opposition. We're going to have all the laughs today. Mom will check his diaper on that one. Boy, it's not going to be boring today, y'all. Anyway. Y'all's poor faces. I can take care of y'all's faces. And you're just looking at me like, what? You're like, I don't know what y'all talking about. But anyway, so, you know, we could have saved ourselves a whole lot of fighting in our marriage if we would have appreciated the opposites in each other that God had put in us, that we had learned to appreciate that more. You know, me and Billy are both stubborn. He's stubborn in his way, I'm stubborn in my way, and we did fight a lot. I remember one time talking to Stephen and Amber, and we were like, right before they got married, it was, I think, doing a little marriage counseling with them, and I remember Stephen one time, I don't know if he remembers this or not, and I remember him saying, well, me and Amber don't fight. And I was like, oh, we do. We fight a lot. And I'm not afraid to say that. We do fight a lot. I mean, me and Billy, we can still fight a lot. But we don't fight like we used to, praise God. Don't go on for 2 weeks over one subject, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's over in about 10, 15 minutes. Used to when we fought. It was not good, y'all. I had to do a lot of repenting. I had to do most of the repenting, seriously, because I'm more the verbal one than he is. But he might have been doing whatever, but, you know, we sin with our mouth when we retaliate or something we don't like, you know, and I'm that one that had to do a lot of repenting. But anyway, so in that, we both had to learn, you know, that we would, every time we got a word, it was always iron sharpening iron. And I'm like, gosh, we never get those fluffy, wonderful, you know, flowery marriage words. They're always like iron sharpening iron. And I'm like, oh, I feel it. It was always iron sharpening iron, you know. But anyway, I remember Stephen, you know, kind of looking at us like, are y'all okay? Should y'all be doing this? Should y'all be doing marriage counseling? You know, and I was like, yes, because people need to know that fighting is communicating. At least you're communicating. I've seen more couples get divorced that don't talk than couples that fight. I would rather see you fight than not talk. Not talking is not good. Okay? Not good at all. Not all marriages are ordained of God. So, you know, pray. Ask God for the right one. You know, don't just sit there and think, you know, make sure. But here's another thing. Oh, me and Billy used to fight about this all the time. I'm going to tell him. He's going to be angry with me. But I used to tell him all the time, okay, that he was having an affair with the TV. That was his other woman, okay? I mean, you can ask my kids. This has been like a long-standing thing. This was a long, big thing with him. Now you know why God's asking him to give up TV. Well, there'd be so many times. This was in our young 20s. He doesn't do that now. But, oh, in his 20s, my Jesus, I would have to, I mean, the kids could be screaming, pouring a gallon of milk in the middle of the floor. I'm screaming, trying to stir supper, and there's kids everywhere, chaos, and he would never move from the TV. And finally I would scream, do you not see all of this? Do you not hear your kids screaming? And still never bat an eye. Just flipping those channels. Just flipping those channels. So finally I would get in front of the TV and I'd be like, do you hear me now? And he'd be like, what? And I'm like, I mean, the kids can even decorate his hair. They could put things on his ears and put stuff on him and he was still clicking. I mean, when he got into the TV, he was possessed. He was possessed with the TV, okay? So, when we got into ministry, that was my sermon for him. It's like, stop having an affair with the TV. Stop. So that was his thing. So when he got tired of me saying that, he finally caught on, and I was still like, yeah, there you are with the other woman. There you are. I said, I'm fixing to throw her out in the yard. I'm fixing to take a baseball bat to her. I mean, I would tell him all the time, and he finally would get it. I'm like, I'm tired of competing with her. I'm tired. You have children, you know. So that was a big one for us. So, and it's funny because we have grandkids now, and our kids' memories, they have a lot of memories of that, and of their mom throwing a fit over the TV. And every now and then, like, especially if he just comes in from work and he's tired, I never have the TV on, but sometimes he'll come in and he'll watch the news, and like the grandkids are going, pow, 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 pow. And Miley's like, she's a look at him, just look at him. He's like, somehow, I don't get this because I'm not a TV person at all. I don't get this, but somehow TV relaxes him. It don't me, stresses me out. I like quiet. I do not like the TV. But somehow it's just like a nerve pill for him. But anyway, But Jesus is his no appeal now, amen? So there can be affairs with anything, okay? You can have an affair with your job. There's people that are obsessed with their jobs come first. You know what I mean? So you can have an affair with anything other than, another person. So, be aware of that and just know that.